Hi, everybody. Bob Schwartz here with ASEP. I am really pleased to be speaking with Kathlyn Hendricks. Everybody likes to call her as Katie. And as you probably know, she is a co-author of Conscious Loving. That's how most people know her. And as well, she's written a book called At the Speed of Life. She'll be presenting at the conference. Hi, Katie. How are you?
I'm doing just great. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Great. I'm really excited that you're going to be talking about presence and authenticity at the conference. Maybe I'd be curious as we begin, um, how do you define presence, especially in terms of as being a therapist, and especially in this context of, um, being the technique of therapy versus the being of the therapist?
Well, most people think of presence, especially in a therapeutic setting, is it's all about you and it's nothing about me. And I pour myself into you, and that's what I do as a therapist or a practitioner. And what we found is that presence is actually a verb. I can presence myself. That is, be fully in myself and be able to share my attention with you. And the more that I'm able to give curious attention to myself and then to give curious attention to you, there's something that happens then between us rather than my being a reservoir that you suck dry and then I get burned out. And so
Mm.
one of the things we're going to be exploring is how to actively use your attention so that you can renew yourself, how to shift from that I'm doing something wrong or I've got to fix you or it's my job to you're like an automobile at a body shop and you just deliver yourself and then I work on you and then you leave in a better state. Presence really allows me to bring myself here to connect fully with another, and then it opens up the possibility of genuine play. That is the exchange in which really everything occurs. If I'm free in my presence, then I can respond to you and I can also activate a response in you so that you can be fully participating in your life, because that's what I see people are really longing for. They're longing for a presence of someone who's being themselves with them, with whom they can be real. And then out of that, there's a very electric thing that can occur where solutions can emerge from the mutual presence of two or more people.
Wow. Well, so I love this idea of presence as a verb or presencing. Uh, so there's a
Let me say a little bit
how-to,
more
right? So
about
how does the people listening to this, before they come to the conference, we're hoping that we're going to give them something that they can use right now, and so there's this, like, right, there's the moment that you can't capture. It is what it is. It shows up as it shows up, and
right.
yet there are probably rules or strategies that kind of increase the probability of that great moment
Yes. In
occurring.
fact, let me show you something that people can do right now. So mostly, one, people are sitting and when they're working
Right.
with each other.
Yeah.
So you've eliminated over 95% of your intelligence by sitting. And so if you are going to sit, you need to be moving. So even if you just get a little bit of movement going in your spine, and you can just try that out right now,
Uh-huh.
what you'll find is that your breath opens. And when your breath opens, you move out of what I call the fear trance, where you're stuck, you're trying to do a good job, you're
Mm.
thinking, you're all up in your head, you're not using your body
Uh-huh.
intelligence, which really
Uh-huh.
allows you to connect intuitively. And there's actually research on this, that if you take three connected breaths, three easy connected breaths, and you change your physical
Right.
position,
Well, this
that
is this
is
is this is the most fun interview I've had yet.
it's better for you
Yeah.
than medication.
This is so
And
fascinating. I have a buddy who used to be on the board, Jim Kloppman, and he does this whole thing with balance. And he's developed this entire thing, and it's just amazing that the changes, brain changes. So that's one thing. And then over the years, I've done a lot of improv training, and one of the things they have you do is, when in doubt, move, and
When in doubt, move. And
something happens.
that's absolutely true. In fact, my work is really grounded in body intelligence and has been for over 40 years. And the research is just overwhelming that if you want to get smarter, if you want to be more present, if you want to get healthier, move. And it's true in interactions, absolutely. And most people think, oh, I'm going to look silly or I'm going to look stupid. And I think that's one of the things that we need to get over, because we've become so disconnected from our whole bodies that we're trying to do everything with a part of our brain that's about the size of a quarter.
Right.
And when you move, you actually are activating all of the parts of your brain. And so that's one of the things that I'm going to be showing people are many different practical ways that you can incorporate your body intelligence to allow you not only to be more present, but to have more fun. Exploration and transformation, I thought, should always be fun. Even if you're in the middle of a big emotion, you can really be, fully participating in a way that allows you to feel even more human, more engaged.
You're speaking my language. I wrote a book with a colleague called "We're No Fun Anymore." It's for couples. It's all about having fun and play. So.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful. I'll be so happy to talk to you about that, because
we'll do that another time. But
exactly our point of view.
Absolutely. And therapy should be, there should be fun. People should laugh a little bit, even serious things. Sometimes there can be time for not discounting people's pain, but even in that, there can be some.
By fully participating, by really engaging with presence and with your whole body and with authenticity, you can move through things, even really big things, in a very short period of time, which allows you to have more resources and more choices, which is really what we're up to.
So that's interesting, because you're saying movement, and so EMDR, you move your eyes, and tapping, you're tapping or tatting, you're holding.
Right.
There is movement. I mean, we're thinking we're activating energy points, and you're also moving.
And you're also moving, and you're also breathing.
And you're moving energy.
People are stuck, they're not breathing and they're not moving. And what we teach people to do is really much more akin to improvisation. So it's really much more about listening to, what is my body telling me? What is my interaction right now opening up for me to learn about, rather than how can I fit myself into yet another system?
So I'm wondering if you would say that this idea of listening to your body movement, would you be saying one thing people listening to this should be doing between now and the conference is, when you're with clients, pay attention to your desire to move and maybe follow it?
I would pay attention. You may not even have a desire to move, because it might have been educated out of you. So I would really recommend that you maybe even set a little timer, and then when the timer goes off, you and your client change positions, or you get up and you walk around together, or you have the person try on, when they're really upset, what does their body want to do, and you mirror that with them, so that you start simply including the body. And one question that I really like to use a lot, even when I'm doing more talking with people, is the question, how are you experiencing this in your body right now? And even if they don't get an answer, there's this move of taking attention from up here to, oh, what's going on in this vast rest of me where my 50 trillion cells are all dancing in community.
Right. That's fascinating. And again, I'm just interested in how, again, if we're thinking of, say, EFT, again, you're starting at the top, by the end you're down here, you're crossing this, there's crossing the midline here, and there's crossing this line here.
And there's the whole down there too, where people hardly ever give any attention, and where your creativity and your
Right.
groundedness all comes from.
Right.
So there's
And
so many
same with
wonderful
chakras.
things.
You're
Yeah,
down, you're going down
all of the
there.
chakras,
Yeah.
but all of those, I think in some way, all of those systems then give people something else they've got to learn. And
Yeah.
what we have really specialized in is the simple and powerful ways that you can learn to be your own messenger, that you can really learn to be your own therapist and your own creative artist, because your body is really a source of your creativity as well as resolution for problems. One of the other big things, Bob, that I want to take a look at with the group when I'm there is the problem of fear, what I call the fear trance, that it looks like most of the culture has been in for a very long time.
Got worse
And
in 2001.
it got way worse, and then it got way worse. So so
Yeah.
what happens though, Sophocles over 2,000 years ago said, when I'm scared, everything rustles. So when I'm scared, I look through a certain viewpoint and everything looks scary. And how that translates into any kind of relationship is that it's much easier to say, it's you. You're the problem. You're the other. I can distance myself from you because you're scary or it's not safe.
Hmm.
And there are things that each of us can do. I call them fear melters. And we can just do one of them right now, because
Sure.
mostly when people get scared, they either fight, flee, freeze, or faint.
Right.
And the freeze one is really common to most people, where you get that startle response.
Hmm.
And somebody might say to you, well, just relax. And it's kind of impossible to do that when you're in the middle of being scared. But what I've found is that people can wiggle their fingers and toes. And if they start wiggling their fingers and toes, then everything else can start to thaw out.
Hmm.
And then they take a breath, and then they're present again. And so you can move from fear to flow, which allows you to actually respond to your life. So I want to teach everybody the 4 fear melters so that they can begin using them right away.
Nice. I like simple. Simple's good.
It takes, you know how many years it takes to make things simple? I'm sure
Right.
you do.
Oh yeah. Mark Knopfler, the great guitarist, said,
Oh,
I
yes.
spent half my life learning to play all the notes, and now I'm spending the second half of my life learning not to play the notes. And
Yes.
Picasso said the same. Pretty much,
Yeah.
we all say the same. I think as you get older, it's like finding that space and
Finding that space. And
how to
then
do it
I know it's such
simple.
a wonderful thing to have a conference like this where we can share
Yeah.
these best practices with each
Yeah.
other, and so people aren't having to reinvent the wheel all over the
Right.
place.
Right. Right. Well, this has been great. I think I know I'm feeling a little more flowed than I did a few minutes ago. It's
Well,
three. It's
super.
3 o'clock here. I know it's 12 o'clock your time. It's Friday, and it's like, yeah.
Friday, right?
Friday,
It's
time to flow. So, I am looking forward to seeing you at the conference, and I think this has been great. So, thanks so much, folks. I
Oh,
hope
you're
you
so
will see
welcome. I look forward to seeing you in person. Thank
me
you.
too. Thank you. All right, take care. Bye.
Bye bye now.